questions about vaccinations but didn't know where to go? You found the right place. This is Vax NV.
There are a lot of misconceptions and misinformation out there about vaccines.
Oh yeah.
I know there's quite a bit, but one of the things that I've really seen, especially in like Google searches lately, is a lot on vaccine ingredients. And I know as a pharmacist, you probably have a lot of insight on that. So just wondering, what are some of the misinformation and I guess overall myths that you've heard recently about vaccine ingredients, and why are people not vaccinating their children because of those myths?
So one of the biggest myths is that thimerosal, which is a preservative, is in childhood vaccines. Which, by the way, there was a study done by Andrew Wakefield. Dr. Wakefield was from the UK, and he came out with this study that showed that there was a link between MMR vaccination and autism because of the thimerosal inside of the vaccine. Well, come to find out that his statistics were not truthful. He basically cooked the books, and the data was not real, and he lost his medical license, and the study was pulled from the Lancet and completely debunked. But unfortunately, it's sort of like a legacy of that. The shadow, the ghost of Dr. Wakefield kind of is overshadowing everything having to do with the new anti-vax movement. And so I still think that there's a lot of parents that question whether or not thimerosal is in childhood vaccines and whether or not childhood vaccines can be linked to autism. Well, I can tell you with certainty that is not the case. There have been many other studies that came out after that initial study that was published in the Lancet that have showed that there is no association between childhood vaccines and specifically thimerosal in vaccines and a link between autism. However, because there was this suspicion that there could be a link, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention about 15 years ago actually removed all thimerosal from all childhood vaccinations. So it shouldn't even be a thought process anymore because there isn't any thimerosal in vaccines, especially childhood vaccines.